Hi, Vihi. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through a full stretching routine. You're going to want, obviously, your yoga mat and then your yoga strap. I'm going to be using a towel. Same thing, I'll walk you through hand placements and everything with the strap as well. And you're going to go just through the whole stretch session. After you do it the first time, see how you feel during. Okay, I want you to have like your phone or a pen and paper next to you. You'll write down if there are any exercises that make you feel uncomfortable, that really hurt you. Or also the next day, take note and let me know if like there's something that like feels a little off. Again, if you feel it a little bit, that's okay. But if like there's anything major, just make sure you let me know so that we can make some adjustments here. I went over the videos that Tamir sent you, and again, using the yoga strap and also some assistance, we're going to change up some of those exercises a little bit, plus some more. Okay, so we are going to get started. Okay, I just want you to lay down on your back. Okay, just take a nice few deep breaths in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale. And on the exhale, just really try to release your ribs down to the mat. Try to melt into the floor. Feel your feet nice and grounded. Release the tension in your shoulders. One more deep breath in. And on the exhale, you can pull your knees into your chest. Just going to give them a nice hug. Really start to just rock back and forth a little bit. Okay, then you're going to bring your knees down to the left side and bring your arms and your gaze over the right shoulder. Okay, so if this feels comfortable for you and if this feels like a nice stretch, you can always bring your top leg higher. Okay, so it's lifted up and above the bottom leg. Okay, and then that's just going to kind of elongate the stretch for you. And then if that also feels okay and feels fine, you can straighten out that bottom leg. Okay, and then you really just want to kind of, with every exhale, increase the twist and keep just trying to lower that shoulder down towards the ground. And then you'll bend your knees. You're going to come back onto your back and take it over to the other side. Okay, so knees drop down, looking over the other shoulder. If everything feels okay here, top leg comes up and over the bottom knee. Same thing, if everything feels okay, you straighten out that bottom leg. And with every exhale, just increase that twist. Exhale, pull the belly in and twist from those bottom ribs a little bit more. You can even place your hand on your hip here, like on the side of your glute, and then just kind of pull the hip a little bit. And come back onto your back. You're going to place the right ankle onto the left knee. Hug the left leg in, either holding from the back of your thigh, or if you want a slightly deeper stretch here, you can hug from the shin. And your breath is just a really important factor in all these exercises because we tend to hold tension. And so just with every time you exhale, pull the leg in a little bit more. Inhale. And exhale if it feels right for you. Pull the leg in a little bit more. And you can release that foot down to the ground. We'll switch the legs. And pull the leg in, either holding the back of the thigh or grabbing onto the shin. Again, with every exhale, you can hug it in a little bit tighter. And just try to release any tension you've got in the hips there. And you can release that. You're going to bring your feet up towards the ceiling. Feet are turned out, knees are turned out. You're going to bring your knees down towards your armpits. Place your hands on the insides of your feet and lightly press down here. Okay, so we're going to take a happy baby. And then what you're going to do is rotate your tailbone down towards the ground. Okay, so if your tailbone is up a little bit, you kind of want to exhale and lower the tailbone down to the ground. The feet can also, the knees can bend a little bit more, and the knees can bend a little bit more, and the feet can come down a bit more to kind of release that tailbone. And you just kind of want to press down. Okay, and again, all of this, you just really want to listen to your body. Okay, if it's too much pressure to press down, okay, then you just kind of release the pressure and just kind of hang out. You can also rock back and forth a little bit here. Okay, all of this is just really what feels good for you at this point. And then you're going to straighten your legs out to the sides. We're taking it into like a little split here. Place your hands on the insides of the knees. Take a nice press here as well if it feels okay. And then you're going to bend your knees. Bring your ankles, your heels to your sit bones. Point your toes and extend. Okay, so you just kind of want to get some movement flowing in the legs here. Okay, releasing everything in those hip joints. And then you're going to bend the knees, pull the knees back in, and give them a nice hug before you place your feet back onto the ground. Now you're going to take your yoga strap. Okay, so you're going to hold it in your hands. You're going to lift up your right foot, place the yoga strap underneath the foot, and first we're just going to start with hugging the knee into the chest. If everything feels okay here, I want you to straighten that left leg down to the ground. You're going to flex the foot. Okay, so both feet are flexed here. Okay, so what you're supposed to be feeling here is you'll be feeling the stretch, okay, the release in the hip joint on the right, and then you're going to feel, you should feel a nice stretch coming through the hip flexors here. You always want to straighten that leg, flex the foot, press through that heel. Then you're going to bend this leg again, the left leg, and I want you to extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. So again, if you don't feel anything, it probably means that your strap is too long, and you just want to walk your hands closer to the foot. Okay, you're going to take a nice inhale. On the exhale, pull the leg towards your chest. Okay, so you should be feeling the stretch coming through the back of the leg here. Okay, you're going to feel it in the calves, in the hamstrings, always making sure the foot is flexed, pressing through the heel. That's going to give us a deeper stretch. And then I want you to bend the knee, turned out down towards the armpit. So it's almost like a single leg happy baby happening. Okay, so you're pulling down with the yoga strap, the knee down towards the armpit. And then we're going to extend the leg again, and you want to press through the heel. Okay, so this time, okay, if the leg was about here, we bend, and then we want to pull the leg in a little bit closer to the body. And then if you feel so called to, lift up your head and chest and shoulders, hugging that knee in towards the chest. Okay, so we're not like pressing the head towards the knee. We always want to think of that knee and chest connection here. And slowly release that back down. And we're going to take it to the other leg. Okay, so yoga strap is underneath the left foot. Okay, knee is bent. We're just going to press that knee in towards the armpit. Okay, so we're not pressing down. We're just pressing inwards. If it feels okay, you're going to straighten that right leg, flex the foot, press through that heel. And you're going to bend that right leg again, place it on the mat, straighten the left leg up towards the ceiling, foot is flexed, drive through that heel. And again, you can change the placement of your hands on the yoga strap if you need to. Okay, if your hands are closer to the foot, it's going to be a deeper stretch. Okay, so just lightly pulling that leg in towards the chest. And then you're going to bend that knee for the single leg happy baby. Knee is turned out, pressing down to the ground towards the armpit. And then keeping that leg close to the body as much as possible. Extend through the heel. And then if you feel so called, you can lift up your head, chest, shoulders, and then press that knee in towards the chest a little bit more. and slowly release it back down towards the ground. Now we're putting the yoga strap back underneath the right foot. Okay, so we're going back to our first leg. We're gonna extend the leg up towards the ceiling, okay? No pulling here or anything like that, just a straight leg up. I want you to hold the yoga strap in your left hand. You're going to drop your left knee down towards the ground and just let your right leg fall down with you. So you're keeping it straight, okay? It's coming down towards the ground. Now, again, if it feels like too much tension, you want to release your hold on the yoga strap, okay? If you have a bit more flexibility here, or if you feel like you're ready to have a bit more tension here, pull your left hand closer to the foot, okay? So we're coming into a twist here, kind of like we did with the warm-up. This time we just have a bit more of a stretch coming through this leg. You want to open up the right side of the body, looking over the right shoulder. Okay, and if you can pull that foot a little bit closer to the upwards towards the head. Okay, so the whole idea here is that we're releasing from the back side. Okay, all this tension. And then what we're gonna try this again. You make note if this is too much for you. Bring your right arm up over the head. You're gonna bring the right arm to hold onto the yoga strap as well. And then you want to open up that elbow and look over the right shoulder. Okay, so this is going to give us a bit more of a stretch coming through this side body here. Okay, so that foot can pull up a little bit closer to your head. And then you're slowly going to release that hand, release that leg down, release your yoga strap, and turn back onto your back to take it to the other side. Okay, so left foot comes up, yoga strap goes underneath the left foot. We press the foot up towards the ceiling. You're going to hold onto the yoga strap with your right hand. Okay, so this leg is going to fall down towards the side. Right knee goes down to the floor, left leg is straight, and we're looking over the left shoulder. Okay, so again, if you need to, you can pull your right hand closer to the left foot on that yoga strap. Foot lifts up towards the head, feeling that release all the way through the glutes. And then if it feels okay, we're going to lift the left arm up overhead. It's going to attach to that yoga strap, and then you want to open up the left elbow, looking over the left shoulder for a deeper stretch. Okay, so you have a lot of flexibility with this yoga strap, so placement of your hands is super important. If anything feels too intense, you just loosen and lengthen up your reach on that strap a little bit. If you feel like you could go for a deeper stretch, you walk your hands a bit further down. And you're gonna release that arm, release that leg, bending it, and turning back onto your back. Release the yoga strap. Let's just take a couple of seconds here. You can open up your legs to a butterfly. And just kind of sit in this. Okay, I'm gonna time about 30 seconds or so here. And this, sitting in this position is really different for everyone. So if you feel any pressure, too much pressure in the lower back here, okay, you're just gonna close your knees and hug your knees into your chest at any time. Otherwise, if everything feels okay and you just kind of feel that release of the tension in the hips, you're just gonna sit here, breathe into the exercise, and with every exhale, melt, release, melt, release. Okay, it's normal to feel the lower back just a little bit, okay? So you really just have to listen to yourself. If anything feels like it's too much, you close your knees and hug your knees in. And you can close them in. Okay, you're going to roll over to the side, come sit up, and let's just take a few cat and cow here. Okay, so you're coming onto all fours, making sure that your hands are underneath your shoulders, shoulder width apart, your knees are under the hips, hip width apart. Take a deep inhale, look forward, release those ribs down towards the ground. Exhale, pull the belly in, release the neck. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And let's just sit it back towards the sit bones. Sit your sit bones back towards your heels, coming into a child's pose. Arms extended out in front of you. Rest your forehead on the mat, and you're just going to breathe here for a few seconds. With every inhale, fill your back space with air. Exhale, and try to press those ribs down towards the ground. Now you're going to bring your left arm, bring your hips up. You bring your left arm down towards the ground. Okay, so we're leaning onto the shoulder. And I want you to straighten your right arm out in front of you on the mat. Okay, so that's aligned and lengthened. Okay, it's in line with your shoulder. And then I want you to shift your right hip backwards just a little bit. Okay, so we're kind of shifting our weight over to the left and pulling your right sit bone back behind you at the same time. Weight shifts over to left, right sit bone goes back. Good, and then you can switch your arms. So right arm comes down, left arm is straight, extended in line with the shoulder. Hip shift over to the right, pull that left sit bone back. And coming back up, sitting back into your child's pose, and we're going to walk our hands over to the left side. Place your right hand on top of your left hand and pull over to the right. Okay, so you're going to feel the stretch coming through the side body here. And then we'll take it to the other side. Arms walk over to the right, place your left hand on your right hand, pull over to the left. Coming back to center, and we're going to come back up to all fours. And I just want you to take a few circles here, okay? So you can kind of start by circling, releasing the hips. And then you want to add in circles for your neck, chest, ribs. So I'm not sure how your coordination is, okay? But just try to really circle everything to the same direction. And then you want to go, 3 to 5 circles the other way. Okay, just creating mobility in that back space. Okay, now we're going to go over some of the stretches that I already showed you. Okay, so we're just going to add these in here. So you're going to pull your left foot forward in between your hands, okay, and straighten that right leg back behind you. So that knee is off the ground. You want to make sure here that your left knee is in line with your left ankle. You don't want to be too far forward or too far back, okay? The knee is right over the ankle here. Okay, so you're just going to breathe into this for a few seconds. With every exhale, release that right hip down towards the ground. You're going to place your right knee on the mat, point the toes, lift your arms up to the left knee. Hips reach down and forward on that diagonal. Okay, so we're sinking into this. Okay, pull in the belly, engage the belly to support your back, and then press your hands into the knee and just lift your chest up towards the ceiling. And then if you want to take a deeper stretch here, you can wrap your left arm around and back to rest on your right thigh. Now, when you do this, you don't want to sit back, okay? Because then we release the stretch, okay? So when you twist your arm back, you still want to keep pressing those hips down and forward. Now you're going to bring your hands back to the mat. You're going to bring your left arm on the inside of the left foot, okay? And then you're going to open up your left foot to the side, okay? So I'm just going to turn towards you so you see this a little bit better. We're here, and you're going to just kind of let that leg fall out to the side, okay? On your hands, little just pulses, pressing that hip down towards the ground, or you can even come all the way down to your elbows here and just sit in this. Again, coming out of it when anything feels like too much. You're going to come back up to your hands. close that knee, okay? And then you're going to sit back, straighten that front leg, flex the foot. Okay, so we don't want to come all the way down to this position. You want to keep the hip up over the knee. Okay, so if your leg is slightly bent, just step it out a little bit to straighten it. Walk your hands out as far as you can. And again, we're not trying to reach our head down to the knee, extending from the spine and chest down towards the knee. Breathing, don't forget to breathe. And you're going to carefully come out of this, bringing that left leg back, and we're going to take it over to the other side. Okay, so we're stepping our right foot forward in between the hands, making sure that knee is in line with the ankle. Left foot is flexed, straighten that left leg back. Okay, so with every exhale, we release. Okay, and a lot of times when I say release, like thinking about it in your mind, okay, I want to release that left hip down towards the ground. I'm pushing back through that left heel. Then we place our left knee on the mat, point the toes, hands come up to the front knee, hips go down and forward. Press into that knee as you feel right. Lift the chest up, lift your gaze up towards the ceiling. Don't sit back, okay? Keep those hips pressing forward and down. And then you're gonna wrap your right arm back behind you to rest onto your left thigh. Hips keep pressing forward and down. Coming back, place your right hand on the inside of your right leg. Let that knee fall down to the side. So we're coming out also onto the side of the foot. Okay, so just pressing your hips down here. And if you feel like you can take a deeper stretch, you're gonna come down to your elbows. Every exhale, releasing the tension. Closing that right knee, coming back up to your hands, sitting back. And remember, keeping that hip over the knee. Straighten the leg, flex the foot, walk your hands out in front of you. And again, elongating the spine to bring your chest down towards that knee. And slowly come out of this. Okay, and we're going to turn it over to sit on our bottom. Okay, so we can just take a butterfly for a few moments. Okay, long spine, pulling, lifting up, shoulders back and down. Okay, and then you just kind of want to pull the belly in. I'm gonna do this from the side so that you can see. Okay, you're gonna hold onto your ankles nice and tight. You're gonna pull the belly in, round your back, and just kind of rock backwards. Release the head, release the neck. And then come back up, rolling up through the spine. And then you can kind of keep a long spine and hinge forward from the hips. And then you're gonna close your knees. Okay, so our legs are hip width apart. You're gonna hold onto your knees, pull the belly button in towards your spine, roll your back, full release here. Let the shoulders release, let the neck release. And then roll up through the spine. And exhale. 2 more times. And 1 more. And lift up. And we're going to take it over, okay? So that your right leg is in front, your left leg is back behind you. Okay, so we're gonna do this stretch a little bit differently than what she was showing in the video, okay? So it'll be less intense. But first we're gonna start. Place your hands on your hips. You're gonna lift up your left hip, okay? So the leg that's back, you wanna lift, rotate that hip forward as if you have someone pulling a string from your hip bone, okay? And then you just kind of wanna release it and dig that sit bone, the left sit bone, back down into the ground. Okay, so we lift and release. Lift, release, lift, release. Okay, we're gonna do another stretch now that, again, if it feels too intense, you'll work up to it, okay? So you want to start, think as if you have a string that's pulling the hip bone up. The string comes to the center, right above your belly button. Twist you back a little bit further to your chest, back, right shoulder, back. You're going to place your left hand on the outside of the right knee. Place your right hand on the ground behind you. And then you're going to press that hand into the knee and kind of create this like contra between the hands. Okay, so you're shooting that left leg on the diagonal back behind you, and that right shoulder is going in that same direction. And again, breathe. So with every exhale, pull the belly in and pull a little bit further. And coming back down and release that sit bone back down towards the ground. Now you're going to place the right hand on the mat at your side, left arm lifts up and over. You're going to bend that right elbow. Okay, coming in for a side stretch here. Okay, if all of this feels okay, you can pull that arm a little bit further away from you, bend the elbow, and release a little bit more. Important to note here, we don't want that sit bone to come up, okay? So you always want that sit bone digging down to the ground, and the arm, you always want to think lift up and then over. Again, you can bend this elbow slightly, the bottom elbow slightly, and then you want to think open up the chest, looking underneath the armpit. And coming back up, and then we're going to take the same thing over to the other side. Lifting up, 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 and over, bending that elbow. Again, don't let the sit bone come up either, okay? So you want to press that hand strong into the mat. And then you're going to open up the chest, looking underneath the armpit. And coming back up, and then I just want you to walk your hands out in front of you. You can come down to your elbows, or you can keep your arms straight. Release the head. It's okay if the sit bones lift up a little bit here. And just chill for a moment. And you're going to walk your hands back up. You're going to straighten this leg out to the side. Okay. You're going to pull your right foot in a little bit more towards your thigh. And then you're going to place your right hand down, let this hip and this foot kind of rotate in just for a nice stretch. So we come down to our elbows. You can place your head onto your hands here. Okay, you should not be feeling a deep stretch here by any means. If you do, you can skip over it. Just relaxing. And you're going to come back up to your hands, and we're going to switch to the other side. Okay, so left foot is in front, right foot is back. Okay, making sure you're just trying to release that right sit bone down towards the ground. Okay, so we release, we sit back into it. And then like we have a string pulling our hip bone, lifting up and back and up. Good. Okay, now one more time. Okay, we lift string from the hip bone, above the belly button, chest, shoulder. Right hand is placed on the outside of the right leg. Left hand is placed behind us. Inhale, exhale, twist, look back behind the shoulder. Pressing that hand into the knee. Okay, so our right knee is going back, back, back on the diagonal. Our left shoulder is going back, back, back on the diagonal. And then we're going to release it back down, bring that sit bone back down to the ground. Place the left hand on the mat, again, as far as you can without lifting up that sit bone. Slightly bend the elbow, the arm comes up and over. Open up the shoulder, looking underneath the armpit. Reaching that arm far away from you. You want to feel a stretch coming up, 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 up. And switching to the other side. Place the hand on the mat, bend the elbow, lifting up and over. Open up the shoulder, open up the chest, looking underneath the armpit. And then here you're going to feel a stretch coming through here. And release. walk those hands in front of you, coming down to your elbows, or straight down on the ground. Just breathe. Again, the sit bones can come up here, just kind of to relax and chill. And then walk your hands up, straighten that right leg out, turn it out, pull the left foot a little bit more in towards your groins, and then you're going to let the leg turn in, hips turn over, and just a soft, nice, chilling stretch. Okay, so this is not the same as the pigeon pose. This is different. And you're gonna come back up to your hands. Okay, and we're gonna straighten the legs out in front of us. You're gonna grab your yoga strap again. Feet are straight together, flex feet, arms up over the head. Take an inhale, exhale, reach forward, place the yoga strap under both of your feet, okay? So here again, the placement of your hands is gonna completely depend on you. If your hands are placed further away from the feet, it's gonna be a lighter stretch, or closer to your feet, you'll have a deeper stretch, okay? You wanna take an inhale, try to extend your spine, and then exhale, hinge from your hips, lightly reaching forward, slightly pulling your elbows back, drop your head, release the neck, okay, and coming into a forward bend here. Okay, if you feel like the yoga strap is too much at any point, you can also just place your hands onto your shins for support. Then you're going to pull the left leg into the left thigh. Okay, so we're in seated tree here. Okay, and then you're just going to hold the yoga strap and you're going to do a single leg forward bend. Okay, again, pulling the elbows back if that feels good, if that's a nice stretch for you. And you're gonna come sit up. You're gonna hold both sides of the yoga strap with your left hand. Okay, you wanna kind of sit up nice and tall here. Okay, so if you feel like you're bending over too much, you can kind of release your hold, or you can take it a little bit further down, okay? You want to slightly lift the heel off of the ground, okay? So I slightly lift the leg. I open my right arm back into a twist, looking back over that right shoulder. Inhale, exhale. So I'm pulling my right leg slightly into my left foot, and I'm looking back over the right shoulder. Then you're gonna place the leg back on the ground, and you're gonna switch just your hands, okay? So now the right hand is holding both sides of the yoga strap. I lift the leg slightly off the ground, and I open up my chest, looking over the left shoulder. So now I really wanna extend through that foot and extend through that hand. So we're creating this like line, okay, between, and place the foot back onto the ground. You can take one more nice soft bend with or without the use of the strap. And we're gonna switch our feet. Okay, left foot forward. You're gonna bend the right foot into the thigh, seated tree. Yoga strap comes underneath the foot, finding the right hold for you, hinging forward, bending those elbows, pulling slightly back, release your head. Coming up, you're gonna hold both sides of the yoga strap with your right hand. Lift your foot slightly off the ground. Reach your left arm back behind you, looking back over the shoulder, pulling that leg slightly in towards the right foot. And placing the foot back on the ground, switch your hands. Left hand holds both sides of the yoga strap, lift the heel slightly off the ground, twist looking back over the right shoulder. Long, long line, extend through that heel, extend through the tips of your fingers. And release, you can come nice back into a forward bend. And straighten both legs. In the yoga strap, inhale, lift the chest, elongate the spine, and exhale, lean back forward. One more deep stretch here. And release, bending your knees. Place your hands behind you. You're gonna place your right ankle on your left knee. You're gonna scooch your left sit bone to your left ankle, heel. And then you're gonna walk your hands up as far as you can towards your back. So we're kind of creating this like bookend, this pressure between the legs, between the left knee and the chest, pulling them in towards each other so that you feel the stretch in the right side. Okay, if you don't feel the stretch, it means you want to lift up your butt a little bit more and play. Everyone feels this stretch in slightly different areas. Okay, so you just always want to think about pressing the knee and the chest to each other and turning that right knee out to the side. Bringing that foot down, we're going to switch sides. So left ankle comes onto the right knee, scooch the butt towards the ankle, and then create that pressure between the right knee and the chest, turning that left knee out. And you can release that. Go into just a nice cross-legged position. Find just like a comfy spot. Remove the flesh from your sit bones and interlock your fingers and pull your arms forward, rounding your back. Release the head, release the neck. You can take a few little twists side to side here. Flip your hands up towards the ceiling, big inhale. And exhale, release the arms down towards the sides. Place your left hand over the head, pull the left ear down towards the left shoulder, and you want to press your right arm into the mat. Okay, so you're going to feel that stretch coming all the way here. And play a little bit with the angle of the head. Take it over to the other side. And interlock your fingers. Place your hands behind your head. Pull your elbows in, shoulders down. Bring your chin down towards your chest. Release your ribs, relax your ribs. Open up those elbows, lift your chest, lift your gaze up towards the ceiling, big inhale. And exhale, release. Arms come all the way up overhead. Exhale down to heart center. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the stretch session and let me know how it goes.